Hey choppers, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you catch all of our great videos like this one for Legends Untold. We got a review coming for you, bub. Let's check it out. Legend Untold by Inspiring Games is a fantasy role-playing card game in which players explore the world of Mor Nadar. Now, there's two different base sets. There's the Weeping Caves novice set and also the Great Sewers set, which hopefully we'll be able to review in the future. The game comes with the standard rulebook, as you'll find in every game, which is detailed down to the last little bit of all the terminology, turn structure, everything you need to know for the game, but also comes with the Weeping Caves book, which has an intro quest at the beginning telling you how to set up the scenario and actually walks you through the players playing one of the scenarios in the game that teaches you the rules as it goes along. It comes with multiple scenario cards that are double-sided depending on how you want to play through the adventures in the game, whether just solo as one adventure or to play them as a campaign. They've got the different ratings for the level of the characters and difficulty. You see level rating 6 to 7 here. And it tells you how to set up the scenario, the different decks in the game, and all that kind of stuff. Players take on the roles of reluctant heroes adventuring in the world. You can see on the card here, this guy is just a regular farmhand, but he's got different attributes that'll help you beat different tests in the game to acquire items, to beat the different characters and monsters in the game, or to just make it through some kind of barriers that'll be in your way. There's a little chart on the side for the knife, which is the starting weapon for the characters, and the number you need to either beat or exceed in order to do different things with that weapon. The cards in the game actually have the symbols that tell you what these different ones are, from critical rolls doing more damage, to missing, to pushing other characters or enemies as you're fighting them. Depending on who you're playing, you could have different weapon cards equipped to your character or find them later on during the game. Here you see this is the rough bow that it suggested this farmhand starts with, and it actually ups the numbers for different attacks the bow can do and different things that'll happen when you roll that number during combat. You also have different abilities, skill talents that you'll be able to start with, like Tenacious and Dependable, and what happens whenever you exhaust the card to use those different abilities. You can see Dependable right here. You can do Party Worker, where you exhaust it, and if you roll a success on a party basic test, you may upgrade your result to a critical success, which will do more damage. Players also have different weapon talents in addition to the skill talents, which will help you during combat. You can see here for the accurate weapon talent, you have Aim Shot, where you can exhaust the card to gain advantage on your next attack this combat. These help a lot during combat to know what your weapon can do and what different weapon talents your character has. The game comes with handy cards that outline the different turn structures, combat summaries, the tests you'll face in the game, and also different conditions that you may experience during the game and the description of what it means to the character. They're right there. You can have them on the board. No looking back into the rulebook. I really love this part. Whenever you have the cards available, I hate flipping through rulebooks to find all the little itty bits that you need to find out to resolve a test or a combat. I like having them. They're on the cards. They're on the table. It's really easy to check out and access. The game comes with a multitude of tokens, as you can see in the ginormous pile over there, for all the different things you'll find and be able to place on your map as you build it, traveling from cavern to cavern or room to room during your adventures, or different things you'll be able to apply to different checks. It also comes with the scout and guard tokens that are double-sided depending on how much light you have when you're adventuring. During the different turns of the game, you will change up who was the scout, who was the guard, and who was the center in your adventuring team as you go through, because they will make relevant checks depending on what you're doing at what time during the turn. As players move along the map, they will turn out cards from the location deck. This intro quest starts out in the cave mouth, and you can see that they would come in from here, and the party could do different things, such as rest or move to a different location. Each location takes a scouting check based on the brightness of the exit they're trying to go through. You can see here that, let's say the party wants to go through a dark exit here to consider sneaking up on enemies. Well, whenever we turn over the new card in the location deck, we would put it so that the current map overlaps the footprints on the next location, and then we would check the brightness scale down here. We're coming from a dark exit, so we would check the dark on the next location card and see that we would need to either meet a 9 or beat that to be sneaky. Once you make that check, you'll move into the room. You can see that there is a obstacle here, so you would turn over an obstacle card and encounter that card, adding any bonuses you may have from sneaking along if you made that Oculus check. As you make those readiness checks, or you don't make them, you'll move your token along the readiness tracker, which will let you know if you're alert, bold, or careless, depending on if you make the checks or not. We made that check getting to the Oculus location, so we're going to be alert, which means when we face off against obstacles, booby traps, or make a discovery, we'll have different options than if we were over here on careless. So we'll be alert now as we encounter the obstacle that's in the room, which happens to be the treacherous bridge. You can see that this is a party table test, which means each hero will have to make the check. In this case, it's a move grace check with no bonuses. Checking with our farmhand, we can see that he has a 2 to his grace check. So when he would roll the dice, he would be able to add 2. Let's just go ahead and say he rolled a 10 on the dice. Adding 2 would mean he would not get the 13 here, but he would get in the 10 range, which means he slowly crosses the creaking bridge, but it spends 1 time. Anytime you have to spend time, you turn over one of the time cards here, and it'll have different effects that'll happen during the game. Players continue along in this way until they complete whatever objective it is for the scenario in which they're facing. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the review part of Legends Untold. Legends Untold is a really immersive card RPG, and given that, we're going to rate it a 2 for replayability out of 3 claws, because not everybody is going to be into this kind of game. It is a hardcore RPG card game that really gets you going in the spirit of RPGs. We are going to rate it a 3 on gameplay because it really handles everything really well with the checks and the decks and the time and going through it. We hope you check it out. Thank you for watching Logan Chop's Reviews. We'll see you next time, bub.